on the sea. The poem begins when the speaker describes the sea to have the ability to swallow up caverns if it deems necessary. Such power can only be exercised by heaven and Hecate, the chief goddess presiding over magic and spells on the seas. Nevertheless, the sea's gentility is emphasized as it touches, but leaves a shell unmoved for a long period of time in the same spot. This version of the sea is different from the one mentioned in the first 4 lines. This is a deliberate act in order to draw contrast between the different moods of the sea, even when there is a storm. The speaker exclaims as he addresses the listener of the poem. It is unclear whom the person is, but the speaker replaces the individual. He asks such a person to take off time away from life's trouble and look how wide the sea is. Admiration. The speaker also asks the listener to go near the sea and sit. In this way, their hearing will be improved because they suffer from uproar root of the wider world. Their healing will be improved. In the final lines, the speaker depicts the moment when the listener will become aware of a change from the pressure of life. The final suggestion from the poet is that those who are worried or depressed should go by the sea and benefit from its healing qualities. The arguments in the poem are systematic, beginning with the violent nature of the sea and then followed by its gentleness and then ending with the benefits that one can get if they spend time by the sea. The most powerful message in the poem is the sea as a mystical unknown force. It can cause havoc in a minute and still leave the very smallest shell untouched a few minutes later. The speaker compares the up and down of the sea's power or tides to the winds of heaven and the spell cast by Hecate. In the final lines, the poem introduces names to give the environment a mystical feeling, such as the sea's ability to improve upon one's life or condition just by being watched. The listener whom is addressed in the poem is probably suffocating or choking under troubles and the pressures of life. The speaker believes that spending some time near the sea and watching its magical features may improve on the listener's life or health and bring some relief to him. Excuse me. The sea breeze heals traumatic experiences, refreshes the brain. It helps them to escape from the voices of their own thoughts because of its regenerative power. The speaker states that the sea whispers in the opening lines, and these whispers make their way eternally around the desolate shores. Keats uses personification to craft a more meaningful depiction of the sea. It is attributed with many human qualities to speak because it offers human beings a point of contact with eternity, mystery, and magic. The word desolate in the opening line has a lot of impact because it sets out a solemn mood. The sea touches distant lands where many people have not set foot. At the same time, there is a gap between the speaker and the subject because of the use of the third-person narrative perspective. The next lines give the sea the image to consume or absorb twice 10,000 caverns at a blow. This attribute depicts the sea's strength and ability to take anything it wants into its depths. The capitalization of Calvin's mouth renders them powerful. But the speaker also refers to Hecate, the Greek goddess often referred to as a witch. Her connection to the sea comes from her ability to control the moon and by extension the tides. But at a certain point, her spell leaves them and the power of the tides fade away or reduces. The gentle picture painted of the sea brings contrast as the seashell left on the seashore is scarcely touched by the sea for days. It still remains in its present position, even after the last storm, which the winds of heavens were unbound. The speaker then focuses to an unknown listener to highlight the endless demands of life, which puts the listener under pressure. He believes that if the listener with eyeballs that are vexed and tired goes near the sea and looks upon the wildness of sea, he might get some relief. The sea has some healing potential to troubled minds. The image that the speaker gives about the listener is that of someone who is suffocating from what the world says or has subjected him to, in which he calls uproar road. Finally, there is a change as the listener sits near some old Calvin's mouth, brooding, and there will be a reawakening depicted by the stinging of the sea's nymphs. These sea creatures bring an awareness to the listener to take a break from the pressures of life. The major themes of the poem are the incredible power and delicacy of the tide, the healing power of the sea, the power of nature and its dynamic range.